Hello, Ross Fletcher here with your CenturyLink scouting report for the game you've probably been waiting for since the start of the season. Yes, the very first Cascadia matchup with Portland Timbers. This one is at Jewsbury Field, the first of three this campaign. Now, both sides have already drawn with Vancouver Whitecaps, so the Cascadia Cup rivalry, well, it's wide open to start the season. Now, Portland Timbers haven't started very well in this campaign. They're second bottom in the Western Conference. They've scored the second fewest number of goals in the Western Conference, and they couldn't do what Seattle could, and that's beat the amateur side Cal FC. Now, if selected, here are three of their players to watch. Jack Jewsbury, the Portland captain, made the switch to right back in May this season after playing the first 40 games of his Portland career in central midfield. Previously spent 8 years with Kansas, where he was their 08 Defender of the Year. Unlikely to see a repeat of his 7 goals from last season. Danny Mwanga, ready for his home debut after the recent trade which saw Jorge Palazza go to Philadelphia. The 20-year-old striker has bags of pace and potential, but he hasn't scored in 11 months in MLS, a byproduct of his struggle for playing time under Peter Novak, despite a fine rookie season in 2010. Chris Boyd, Portland's expensively acquired designated player, has scored 4 goals in his first season. He's the Scottish Premier League's all-time leading scorer with over 160 goals, and he was picked up by fellow Scot John Spencer after a contract dispute with his club side in Turkey. When in form, he is a very, very good finisher. Now, one of the reasons why Portland Timbers haven't scored that many goals is quite obviously because they haven't created that many opportunities for their strikers. I'm going to show you a couple of instances now from their last game against LA Galaxy, the 1-0 defeat at the Home Depot Centre, which might just explain their problems. Their decision-making in the middle third of the field could be better. The first clip we're going to show you is right from centre half. This is David Horst, the youngster, who against LA will pick up the ball along the back. He wants to bring it out himself. There's nothing particularly wrong with that, but if he's going to run strongly and commit himself, he needs to make that pass. He doesn't make the simple pass. What happens is it allows the counter-attack for Landon Donovan and LA Galaxy. Fortunately for Portland Timbers, that time it came to no harm. But if you are going to commit yourself, you need to be confident about your distribution. So that's the back line. What about the midfield? Well, they are prone to occasionally delaying or making the wrong choice. We're going to show you another clip from LA. This is Frank Songo now. We'll start it here as Songo picks the ball up from deep. Now, here it comes into the middle of the park. He is going to have to scrap to win the ball back. He keeps playing on. We'll stop it here though, because we're going to assess the options Songo has. He has some decent opportunities to keep Portland moving on the front foot. You can look here. He can play it square and simply to Khalif Al-Hassan, or even better, the man calling for the ball wide right, Danny Mwanga. He's in space, particularly as the fullback Donovan has pulled into the middle of the park. Look at the area that he has to pass that ball. But if we play it on, what does Songo do? He cuts back inside, looking for neither Darlington Nagbe nor Chris Boyd. It's the wrong choice, and it stops what was potentially a very good Portland Timbers offensive situation. One more to show you. This concerns Khalif Al-Hassan, again, in that game with LA. Let's start it. Unconventionally for David Beckham, he gives the ball away. Al-Hassan can break. Now, as he comes over halfway, we'll stop here because, again, we're going to assess the options Portland have, and they're very, very good. The primary option he has, again, is Mwanga peeling away to the left-hand side. If he plays him in early, you can see 1-2 against 1-2 defenders. That is a very good option for Portland Timbers if Al-Hassan releases that pass early. Let's see what he does. On it goes, delays, delays, delays. Finally, he plays the ball through to Danny Mwanga. And now if we stop it again here for Mwanga, A, he's been pushed further wide because of a delay of the pass. And B, 1-2 defenders blocking his path. A third has got back, and still the Portland forward players are marked up. That loss of momentum loses the better opportunity. We can continue with the play. And yes, they do get a cross, and it's not a bad cross to be honest. But the better opportunity was lost earlier on by Portland. They need to get better service to the likes of people like Chris Boyd. We mentioned earlier in the players to watch, he's an excellent goal scorer. He's somebody I would call a sniffer. He scores the majority of his goals, look it up on YouTube, for Glasgow Rangers in the Scottish Premier League, between 12 and 14 yards out. He knows where the goal is, he can pick up so many opportunities in that area, and he is an excellent finisher of the ball when given just a single chance. I'm going to show you why I think Chris Boyd, on his day, because he can be a bit hot and cold, is a very, very good striker. We're going to go back first off to the opening home game of the season for Portland Timbers against Philadelphia Union. And to start with, the ball is going to come in from the right-hand side for Chris Boyd. Just watch the movement here. Comes near post, and that glancing header is superb from Chris Boyd. No wonder he and his fellow Scot coach John Spencer are very happy. Goal on debut for Boyd at home. Lovely flick header. Comes near post, gets half a yard of space off the defender, and no keeper in the world is going to stop that kind of finish. Now, another thing with Chris Boyd is he loves to play along the line of the last defender. It might cause him problems with offsides now and again, but he's so experienced and so wily that he can make the difference. Now, let's give you an example of this. This is earlier in the season against Dallas, and the ball will be coming through here, laid through the middle of a channel for Boyd. Now, as he peels away from George John, you can just see him out of frame, hanging off the last defender's line, gets the ball, gets the opportunity, hits it very well first time. So here we have that in replay form. You can see Chris Boyd just coming back from an offside position, but keeps the line here with Zach Lloyd. Maybe he's a little bit fortunate, but he knows, I think, that Lloyd is keeping him onside. You'll see the pass come through. It's an excellent pass. Boyd definitely onside, gets a yard away from George John. That allows the crisp shooting opportunity. Good save made by the keeper, good run made by Boyd. What I also like about him is his instinct. He doesn't give up on an opportunity. Another example we're going to show you. He doesn't score here, but against RSL, he almost gets the opportunity because Eric Alexander will cut in from that left-hand side. Boyd is in the box. He wants to cross, not forthcoming, but he is sniffing. He is waiting there for the opportunity. Final example about Boyd's opportunism, and this is where it comes good for him. This is a game against Chivas. Now, the ball is going to come in from the right-hand side. Boyd is the only man in the area. We'll stop it here. It's gone way over his head. He realises there are no other Portland players there. He might, and some strikers might give that up as a bad job. Watch what happens, though. James Riley, in bad communication with Dan Kennedy, the ball drops out of his hands. It is the simplest task for Chris Boyd to roll the ball in the net. He could have been disinterested. He could have walked away before that ball was caught by Kennedy. Because he spilled it, because Chris Boyd was still alert, then that meant he could get that opportunity to score. Here it comes again from that right-hand side. Watch Boyd again making a very good run off the back of the last defender. Over it comes, stays awake, stays alert. What I really like here is that delay in shooting. As the ball bounced down to him, he had presence of mind. He knew if he hit it first there, Kennedy might have got a hand to it. But that half a second delay allows the much easier goal scoring opportunity. Has really good poise, really good presence in front of goal. Now that's Portland Timbers. It's going to be a big match, we know that. The first of the Cascadia rivalry down the I-5 at Jewsbury Field. If you want to catch the game, you can do so on ESPN. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. You can also catch the call with myself on the radio on 97.3 Cairo FM. The Sounders looking to continue their dominance over Portland and continue their march to retaining the Cascadia Cup. Portland not in form, 1 win in their last 6. Could that be telling for the Sounders? That was your CenturyLink Scouting Report. I'm Ross Fletcher. Enjoy the match.
Give your full 90 with the Sounders FC mobile app featuring live audio, matchday blog and much more to keep you connected. Download your app at soundersfc.com/mobile.